Vaishnav Negi is here as well.
Good evening, Vaishnav.
All right. Welcome everybody to the orientation session for your CMT 2021 in December. Today we have Joel Panikot. He is the head of Asia Pacific for the CMT Association. And to give a little brief about Joel, we generally pronounce as Panikot and not Joel Panikot. So he spent over 20 years across the educational technology industry, including commercial education, corporate training, K-12, and continuing professional education. He has led 3 startups. Currently, he runs the CMT Association, and he's the founder of PQ. It's an edtech startup. Before this, he was CEO for Zaya Learning Labs, an education technology social enterprise. He also built Teach A Class Foundation. It's an NGO into India's first crowdfunding platform for school teachers. From 2010 to 17, Joel ran Bloomberg LP education strategy across Asia Pacific, supporting top universities and B schools. He is a movie-loving foodie with a severe case of wanderlust. Like this Twitter handle, he loves @Panikot, and that's QUOTE. All right, that's a small about Joel, and we have even Love Sharma. He's a CMT charter holder, and we'll talk more about his experience when he briefs us about how do we prepare well for all the levels of CMT, and would answer questions further on that. Moving on to Joel, he would tell us more about the association as of now, and what are the plans and what are the career opportunities that we have after doing CMT. Over to Joel.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dhwani. Love, thank you so much for having me over here. And to the guys on the call, I'm glad that you are here and that you are preparing for a possible career in the world of the financial markets and in front office alpha capture roles. So we'll talk a bit about that as well, about what opportunities are out there for you. Right? Apart from that, what I want to, I'll briefly talk about what's going on with the CMT Association. What are we doing that's interesting in terms of the interests of technical analysts around the world, across all countries, across all asset classes, no matter where people work. So we'll talk a bit about that as well. And I'll take a few questions about the CMT Association specifically. And after that, I'll hand it over to Dhwani and Love, who will take it through the process of the preparation for the CMT program. Yeah. So let me just start off with, okay, let me share my entire screen with you. Here are all you guys. When I share my screen like this, Dhwani, the entire, your faces as well, the video of your own faces. Dhwani, you're on mute right now.
No, Joel, we are only able to see the presentation, nothing else.
Okay, great. Chalo, great. So then I'll briefly walk you through the CMT program, and just a quick, if I was to introduce the CMT Association in one line, it would be the world's foremost credentialing and advocacy body for technical analysis. So credentialing is what you are right now here for. That is the Chartered Market Technician credential, right? That proves that you have achieved a certain degree of excellence in the field of technical analysis. But remember, the CMT Association's name also contains the word association, which means that once you achieve this credential also, your lifelong journey only begins, and you become part, like Love has literally a month and a half ago, become part of this community now that has this, the CMT charter, and works together as an association for the advocacy of technical analysis. That is to help organizations and individuals understand the value of technical analysis more, and to appreciate better the value of professionals who use technical analysis as part of their work in the various different kinds of careers. So I'll talk to you a bit about that as we go along, and we'll talk about a few careers as well. Like I said, then we can take questions. So the CMT program itself, like I mentioned, it is seen to be the gold standard of technical analysis achievement around the world. The program, the CMT Association itself is a little over 50 years old. The first meetings of the association began when it was then called the Market Technicians Association. In 1969 was when one of the first meetings began. And this was born out of the New York Society of Securities Analysts. So this was the analysts all get together, and different sector analysts would have meetings and talk to each other about what is going on in their respective sectors. But technical analysts who covered all sectors obviously found that there was more that they could add across each sector and across every different market that was out there. And so what they decided to do was to get together and talk about technical analysis. What is the latest in the field? What have they learned? How have they grown a bit more, and help each other grow? And that began about 50 years ago. And then from there on, the association began to grow. It was formally incorporated in 1974. And then it was called the Market Technicians Association. From there on, it continued to grow, and more people began to become part of this. The association spread around the world. And after a point, it was felt that there needs to be a certain standard of excellence beyond which then you can be part of the association. And that is how the CMT program was born, right? So anyone who demonstrates mastery of a core body of knowledge, remember how this is phrased also, investment risk in portfolio management settings. So this is not just about coming up with trade ideas or entry target, stop loss. It is about understanding the markets as a whole and understanding investment risk, being able to manage and provide advice for portfolios. And this is necessarily a professional qualification, right? So 3 levels of exams that I'm sure most of you know, and they need to be completed in sequence. So you can only complete level 1 and then go on to level 2, and then from there on go on to level 3. I get this question often, that can I take all 3 exams together? And I usually argue back that no matter how bright you are, there are a lot of bright people who've designed the exams also. So in all likelihood, it's not possible to clear all 3 levels in one go. But having said that, 1 level per administration, and the exams happen twice a year, every June and December. So this year, the exams are happening between the 2nd and the 12th of December. Now, what you are trying to prove and what the mission is of the CMT Association is, like I said, to improve investment performance, which is a skill that anyone can use and anyone can bring when they are managing their investments, not just for someone else, but also to enhance career opportunities through education, ethics, very, very important, and professional networking. So that is the vision statement of the CMT Association. Now, why is this designation valuable? So every couple of years, the CMT Association conducts a study among its members to kind of see what is the value that the designation is adding to the market participants. And here is the kind of results that we've seen. More than 50% of the respondents say that they either got more responsibilities, a new position, or recruiters got in touch with them with newer job opportunities. And a lot of them reported also increased salaries and promotions as well. It's very fascinating because I was in London. This is when we could travel back in 2019. I was in London and we were at this conference, and myself and Alan Kressler, who is the ED/CEO of the CMT Association, we were standing at this booths that we had, that people would come and ask us questions. And this was a global audience, and we were answering questions from people from around the world. And what's funny is we got a couple of people coming from Vietnam asking us these questions. And then a few minutes later, a few other people from Vietnam came and asked us questions. And a few hours later, another couple of people from Vietnam. And after the 7th or 8th person from Vietnam had come, we noticed that this is obviously a trend. So we asked, what's going on? What's up with people from Vietnam coming? And so Ho Chi Minh City, or Saigon, is kind of like the Mumbai of Vietnam, in that their financial center is based mostly out of Ho Chi Minh City. And it has become kind of an unwritten practice within finance firms in Ho Chi Minh City that you are eligible for promotions only if you have completed level 2 of the CMT or CFA programs. And so a lot of people obviously found that CMT creates more opportunities for you in the front office, decision-making kind of roles. And that is why we got a lot of people coming and asking us questions around that. So that's a very interesting trend that we're seeing around the world. And that's something that the CMT Association is trying to do more of as well. How can we create more career opportunities? So I'll talk to you a bit more about that as we go along. But what is technical analysis? I don't think I need to define for all of you. That you are here means you understand a bit about technicals, and obviously Love and Dhwani will take you through a lot more in your understanding. But these are just how the legends have described it, right? The study of the action of the market itself, one from Edwards and McGee. That's, I think, one of the most beautiful definitions that I've come across. And Perry Kaufman says, systematic evaluation of price and volume for the purpose of price forecasting. Forecasting versus prediction. I must also underscore that, because people also come and ask, अगर मैंने technical analysis सीख लिया तो will I be able to predict the markets? There is no such thing. And if you could needed anyone else over here, right? So that's something to bear in mind. But often people ask me the questions of what careers are there in technical analysis, and I flip it over and I say it is more important to look at where, in what careers there is technical analysis. I hope you understand. If you say you want a career in technical analysis, typically there will be 1 or 2 roles called technical analyst in investment organizations. But when you look at in how many careers is technical analysis relevant, then the field opens up dramatically. So what I've done over here is in columns, I've arranged the various industry types, right? So there are corporations and banks. That is one ecosystem. And then there are brokers and investment managers. That is a second ecosystem. And then there are broadly market intermediaries, exchanges that I call the others. So corporations and banks, the workflow is most large companies like the Reliances, the Adanis, etc. of the world, they deal a lot in commodities and in FX. So if they are importing material from anywhere in the world, they have to track FX rates. If they are importing, let's say coal, they have to also see the price of coal and see if that is fluctuating, because importing means they'll put it on a ship somewhere, it'll take 2-3 months to sail and it'll come to your port. What happens to the price in between? So this is one of the things that corporate treasuries do. A lot of corporate treasuries might have a lot of excess cash in hand. The more conservative ones put it in simple fixed income kind of assets, but the lesser conservative companies also have for their treasuries a profit mandate, saying trade this money and see whether you can raise any more money. And so companies do that as well. And to do all of this, corporations have to have counterparties to interact with. So if it is the equity desk and the kind of cash management desk, they interact directly with the exchanges. So they act as an investment management firm managing their own capital. But if they are looking to hedge their commodity risk, their FX risk, they interact with banks. So banks also then, the customer to the bank is more often than not the corporation. Corporations try to borrow money, corporations try to hedge their risk. And for all of these, banks provide various instruments. And so to do all of this, they have to constantly analyze the markets to come up with what is fair pricing, what is the right time, the right kind of price, the right kind of instrument to be traded. And so that is why you find the roles of so the first column that I've created, the broad category of the role could be analyst or trader, portfolio or risk manager, a strategy role and a leadership role as well. And this applies across all the industry types. So whether it is between corporations and banks, within these two, it is the treasury departments that are most active. And then the ones that you hear more about, the roles of brokers. Brokers are intermediaries across many different types of organizations as well. So when a bank securitizes some kind of option or swap, they need to sell it to investment manager. So the broker is the intermediary between that. So the broker, even it's not just what you understand to be the brokers like the Motilal Oswals and JM Financials of the world, but there are intermediary brokers across any kind of transaction in the market. And all these people need to understand the markets in 2 ways. One is that they need to not only understand what the direction of the market is in order to give investment advice, but they also need to engage with their clients and explain to them, like say, for instance, if your parents invest money in, let's say, stocks on the basis of tips from wherever they hear, they also will have to reach out to a broker who will also give them investment advice And so what we are seeing a lot of now is that broking houses want their frontline client advisors, salespersons, for them also to understand how to exactly explain the markets and explain risk management to their clients. So that is one more place where technical analysis becomes extremely powerful. Very recently, we've done workshops for very large broking houses like Kotak Finance, Trustline Capital, with talks with Anand Rathi, MK. So there are a lot of organizations that are looking at not just, like I said, the role of the technical analyst, but across all the other roles, the sales trader, salesperson, PMS managers, strategists, and economists as well. How can they use technical analysis to do their own jobs better? So if you notice, the kind of roles that are becoming available for people who understand technical analysis is getting wider and wider, right? Then we come to what we understand to be the normal investing in the investment industry, investment managers. And this is also across all asset classes, not just uh, equities analysts across various sectors, but commodities analysts, fixed income analysts. All of them need to understand technical analysis. And more you start seeing people across all roles, even fund managers across, even if you're a fixed income fund manager, being able to understand interest rates, being able to understand what are the yields of various instruments doing, all of this becomes relevant in analyzing the market, making investment decisions, right? So irrespective of what kind of role you are in, I would break it into two ways. If you are facing the markets, that is in the role of the analyst, trader, portfolio manager, or if you are facing a client in the role of, let's say, either the leadership role, like you are the CEO, CFO, CMD, etc., treasury heads, strategy heads, or if you are, you know, an investment advisor in any of these, if you're facing the client and talking about the markets, or if you're facing the markets and taking decisions, technical analysis helps you do your job better. We have a lot, especially in the US, we have a lot of very senior market professionals who got their CMT charters in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So they've had their charter for like 10, 15, 20 plus years, right? And a lot of them say that while my whatever my MBA, CFA, etc., might have got me my job, my CMT helped me keep my job. So as a discipline, this continues to remain more and more relevant. And today, because the world is changing, because computing power is becoming so much more accessible, we are getting more and more new roles coming out, and technical analysis is becoming more and more accessible. Today, your phone carries more computing power than an entire room carried when I was a young person, right? So just being able to use that computing power in order to do meaningful analysis of price data, which is available everywhere, of volume data, which is quite accessible. Being able to do that on tools that are available for free is a very powerful skill set. So that's something that I think you all should take seriously, irrespective of what career you end up in. And then, of course, if you want to be a professional and you want to be recognized, these are the kind of industries where the CMT Association is going and actively talking about why technical analysis is important to all these roles. And so why recruitment managers, L&D managers should understand where technical analysis should be encouraged within their organization. So we're doing a lot of work in this space in order to encourage the careers of folks who are going through the CMT program. So I was talking about modern careers as well, right? In the space of quantitative finance, especially in the application of algorithmic trading. Because when you say quantitative finance, a lot of what quantitative finance is the ability to ingest large amounts of numbers, apply a model or a set of rules to it, and come out with an output. The output typically is in the form of. Nowadays, the ability to ingest this data is getting more and more complex. If you had a chance to attend our last chapter meeting, one of our CMT charter holders is running a firm that even analyzes data that is as obscure as the satellite images of parking lots in outside large supermarkets in the US. And from that, they're trying to draw insights as well. So technical analysis becomes literally the ground level of this knowledge. It is the first principles on which these systems are built. So a lot of firms as well that you'll find, tech firms, fintech firms that are building trading systems, that are building order management systems, all look at technical analysis for the first principles, the rules. So I also often get this question that will technical analysis teach me programming languages like R, Python, etc. So how we look at it is that a programming language is by definition a language. It is the way to give a set of instructions. But technical analysis is the instructions. So you can, through technical analysis, learn what do you want to say in a programming language so that the program or the machine can process it for you. Which means even as the programming languages evolve, and they have. When I started out as a student, I learned basic Fortran, C. This is of course last century. And today we are talking about R and Python, and now you're hearing about JSON and more specific kind of niche languages as well. So there's a lot, and that will continue to happen. For young people who are learning about the world and looking at the world of the more modern TA careers, I would definitely encourage you to learn that also. But you cannot create a system without the rules on which to build it, which is where technical analysis becomes very, very relevant. Then for those of you who are academically inclined, in fact, there are more other spaces as well that are not traditionally in the financial services industry, but you can build careers. Journalism. I'm seeing more and more CMT charter holders getting placed as journalists in various broadcast houses, publications, digital media houses, building their own podcasts, etc. I would argue JC Peretz, who is one of the most followed technical analysts in the world, is as much a media personality as he is a technical analyst. And his skill at technical analysis and of course the brand value of a CMT charter in order to deliver a message to the world about the kind of work that he does in the space of relative strength. So do check him out and follow his work as well. Quite a lot of interesting work that is done by JC and his team. So coming back to the CMT program and the curriculum, I realize that the screenshots are of the older curriculum, but really just the numbers have changed. efficientlearning.com/CMT is where you can buy the curriculum. The curriculum this comes from the early days when the CMT Association as a credentialing body would only set that this is the syllabus from which we will ask questions and would prescribe a list of about 10 books and say, study from these and come and take the questions. So then obviously all candidates had to go and buy these 10 books, and we found that for some candidates, especially as we started growing into developing markets, it became a little cumbersome. So what we did was we took relevant chapters from all the reference books and put them together into this curriculum. So the curriculum is not exactly a book per se, but a compilation of relevant chapters. So if you were to purchase only one document to study from, the curriculum would be it. And you can purchase this on the Wiley website. The CMT Association itself does not sell the curriculum. Right, so you can check out the Wiley website. You'll see they have both ebooks and hard copies. So you can take a look at both as well. Right? How to get started with the CMT program? You enroll for the program. And what I would recommend to all of you is to take a look at the CMT website, right? And this will answer a lot of your questions, especially the CMT program. A quick description about the program is right here. If you want to learn about level 1, just click into the page, all the basic information that you require, including the dates, the fees for that specific level, they're all here. One thing you should know is that there are various kinds of memberships as well that you can take, right? So you can either be an affiliate member where you are able, by being a member, access the various benefits that we provide as part of the CMT Association. So you can see all the benefits over here. My only suggestion is take some time to go through this. If you are a full-time student at any academic institution, a full-time student, mind you, you are eligible for the student membership as well, where you will need to pay $100 instead of the standard annual dues of $325. If you are a full-time student of an institution that is part of our academic partner program, so click into this and you'll be able to read a fact sheet as well. Then there is in fact a very deep scholarship for those who take the exam. So to make the effort to go through this thing. The professional membership is eligible for two kinds of people. One is if you already have more than 5 years of experience using technical analysis as part of your day-to-day role, or if you completed 3 levels of the CMT program and you also have 3 years of work experience, you can apply to become a professional member. Now, Love recently got his CMT charter by going through this process. And in future, all of you will, as you complete your journey. Dhwani, you are on the second last stage, if you might. And soon enough, you'll also be a CMT charter. I'm looking forward to that. But do read you all the information that you need about memberships. In general, about the program, I would definitely tell all of you to come here to the so apart from these pages, like I said, there's something about the academic partner program. Market Feds is part of the participating prep provider program. This is a group of firms that agree to adhere to the set of code of standards and ethics that we at the CMT Association value. And so that's what the prep provider program is. That's also why I'm happy to support them in their efforts here as well. Right. And definitely go through the page called policies and procedures. So within policies and procedures is basically the FA, where you can ask, or you'll get most of the basic questions that anyone has across the body of knowledge, how to register, what will be expected on the day of the exam. A lot of the questions I get are on program fees. So please do come here to the program fees, and you'll see all the various types of fees, etc. that there are as well. Early, standard, and late for members or non-members, right? It's all here. And any other additional fees, everything is mentioned over here. So please do make it a point to read through this, and this will answer pretty much every question you have. Right? Apart from that, of course, if you have any questions, I am available here for a few minutes. But a few things about what we are doing within India and how you can participate in the community. So Discord is one space that we've created for everyone to participate. And this is basically a communication platform where we've created channels so we can have subject specific conversations as well. For candidates of the CMT program and members of the CMT Association, there are more exclusive premium spaces as well, where you can interact with other candidates, with CMT charter holders, and we can create a deeper, more engaging conversation. We have CMT volunteer leaders who are actually creating an advisor network as well, where everyone can reach out to someone more senior to them to get any kind of guidance that they require. And Love and Dhwani also are a part of that ecosystem. So the more engaged you are, the more we can kind of work with you. Apart from that, a few other things that we are doing with candidates and business schools. So we have something called the internship challenge that we do with schools that are part of our academic partner program. And from this internship challenge, last year we ran this in December. We had some 200 students participating. 5 of them won internships to work with us, and 3 of them completed their internships in June, July. 1 of them is starting in August. Right. Then we had the investment challenge as well, which is open to both candidates and to CMT charter holders. What was my apologies, not CMT charter holders. Actually, charter holders were kept out of the challenge, and they were there as mentors and guides through the entire process. This was for CMT candidates and for students of the academic partner program. And interestingly, we actually made the results of this competition visible to a few firms as well. And the top 7 participants from even the first challenge, we had not expected this, but they also received calls for interviews for roles of analyst and fund manager. So that is something that we were quite happy about. So what we will be doing is we'll be, in future iterations of this challenge, we'll be making the results available to two houses. In fact, like I said, the head of sales trading at MK Global was in fact interested in seeing not only who won, but also what was their thought process as they participated in the challenge. And that's the kind of thing that we want to create, to create more career opportunities for the members of the association, for students participating and learning technical analysis, so that you can land in the industry as professionals, right? The investment club and the ambassador program are 2 new ideas that we're playing around with that we'll be starting from this year itself. Then the CMT experience, the CMT India experience. So here is just like I mentioned a few times to you what volunteer leaders of the CMT community are doing. So what we are trying to do is not just among ourselves try to create career opportunities, but engage with each of the key parts of this ecosystem. Meaning, while the technical analyst's career is dependent on 2 things. One is how good they are at technical analysis, but so that is one key part of it. Obviously, you have to be a very good technical analyst. But apart from that, there needs to be a supportive ecosystem as well that can help you to develop your careers. So the regulators, we are engaging with SEBI, RBI, we're looking to work with the Ministry of Finance, AMFI, IRDA, all these bodies as well, to see how we can get more and more acknowledgement for technical analysis as part of the investment process, right? This includes hopefully license exemptions or at least license recognition for the roles of the investment analyst, the investment advisor, portfolio manager, research analyst, and so on and so forth. Among employers, like I mentioned a few times before, we are engaging with them to create more career opportunities. Similarly, with academia, we are trying to see how can we encourage more academic research and help more students become ready for their careers through the CMT program. And finally, with media as well, we are looking to create more visibility for CMT charter holders and for the body of knowledge of technical analysis across the entire media landscape. And so there are a lot of interesting partnerships that are coming out of that as well. Apart from that, we've also built a couple of publications in-house. We ran something called a monthly newsletter called Technical Insights in India last year. And because of the success we saw with Technical Insights, that is now going to become part of our global newsletter called Technically Speaking. And that will start from the coming month as well. So we're seeing a lot of growth where ideas that were born in India are now going global. And finally, with our membership, of course, what we really take very seriously is a sense of community. How can we make our members feel that they are part of a group and grow together? So that is where the volunteer leaders are working on creating more and more opportunities for our members as well. Right. Apart from that, finally, the last thing I want to tell you was the large format events that we are doing. So we did summits this year in the Americas region, in the European region, and this time now in October, we'll be doing one for the Asia Pacific region as well. And the idea with this is to put a large rubber stamp of our presence around the world, because as a global credentialing body, we can create more visibility opportunities for our members that would not be possible if we were operating only within a small ecosystem, right? And so whenever the announcements for these summits, etc., come along, I would encourage all of you to participate. But I think with that, I should really end. One last reminder on Discord, the link to access Discord, if you aren't there already, is go.cmtassociation.org/Discord, right? That's it. Thank you. And I'll take some questions now, if there are any.
Thanks, Joel. That was a very, informative kind of a presentation where, almost all the questions were answered. I mean, from careers to what to expect, out of the association, everything was there. So that was wonderful for you to share such important piece of information with all of us. If there are any questions, I would just request you guys to put it across into the chat box.
I always like to say, if there aren't any questions, it means one of two things, right?
Right. Either everything or either nothing.
Or nothing. So let's assume it is the latter. The former, sorry. Not
yeah, the former actually, because as I said, there was so much a piece of information which, practically answered every query that we could have on our mind.
I'm glad then. So then that means that now you can have a peaceful conversation about how to actually go through the CMT program. And I'd encourage everyone to obviously give Dhwani and Love your full attention. And I wish you all the best. We at the association, on Discord, everywhere else are all available to help you out. So feel free to reach out if you need anything. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joel, for being there.
Thank you so much, Joel, for coming. And
Thank you.
It was quite brief. I don't think there should be any questions though. But yes, thank you.
Don't hesitate to reach out if there is anything. And you can also collate any questions that you think I can answer. And I can come back with those later as well. Yeah?
Absolutely. We'll do that for sure.
All the best.
Bye, Joel.
Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Okay, all right, guys. Now moving ahead with the next part of the presentation, which would be taken up by Love Sir. So to share a brief about him, he has an experience of more than 10 to 15 years in the financial research side of working. His proficiency is into technical analysis, non-discretionary trading, and price action. And he must be a quite popular face, which you would have seen on many media channels also, like Zee Business, NDTV, Vion, and a couple of other articles also, which you would have read by him on leading financial publications. Without taking much of your time, I would just move across to Love Sir so that he could brief you about what you can expect in 3 levels of preparation for the CMT. And as your questions come across, please put it across in the chat box. We'll be happy to answer on those.
I can share the screen, Dhwani, right?
Yes, sir.
Just a sec. Okay. So I'll just share my screen. So now you're able to see my presentation.
Yes, we are able to.
Right, great. Welcome everyone. I think Ujjwal has covered many aspects of the technical analysis, and especially how CMT is providing the most coveted certificates. I usually get a lot of questions how CMT helps. There are people who are actually into market and trading, uh, different asset classes or different kind of trading, be it discretionary or non-discretionary, and they want to know how CMT helps them. So it's a very big field. Technical analysis itself is much, broad space to learn and inherit when you go out there and practice it. So this particular course is divided into 3 sections. Level 1 basically focuses on introduction to technical analysis. Now we as a trader or investor or analyst or any other role you are in, there are many things which one needs to learn. So usually you will see technical analysis as people drawing or sharing random charts or giving price targets or using trend lines or moving averages. After like 7-8 years of my career, I chose to pursue this because this is something which is very coveted when it comes to technical analysis. So in level 1, uh, when you are introduced to technical analysis, I believe since we are all a participant of the market, there is a lot of things you will have to unlearn and then learn, because basic terminologies and every other pattern that is there, how you comprehend that, what is continuation or reversal, all these kind of things. So level 1 is very important, and in fact, I found it very interesting to read level 1. A lot of things which were there in my knowledge were refreshed, and I actually had to unlearn what I have seen usually on social media or through any other reference, and then learn. Level 2 focuses on theory and analysis. So this particular component adds a kind of implementation of whatever you have learned in level 2. For me, level 2, or when you pursue level 2, is something which will add the analysis part to some extent. You will be exposed to systematic trading or system design. What are various aspects of it? Uh, this particular level is one of the most crucial level, and usually I find level 2 as one of the levels that is a bit hard for everyone to crack, because this is something which takes theory as well as uh, analysis. How do you implement that whatever you have learned in level 1? Level 3 is a totally different ball game. It's integration of technical analysis. Whatever you have learned in level 1, level 2, and level 3, that will be there in level 3. Level 3 is totally, people usually think of technical analysis as just charts, trend lines, moving averages, and drawing the patterns and giving price targets. So that is what our general feel about technical analysis. But that is not the case. When you are into level 3, you get to know about rather practical aspect of it. So this particular thing helps you in statistics and how to backtest, and what is systematic trading, what are various components of systematic trading, how do you build that architecture when you are actually trading into market. If not trading, when you are actually managing a fund, or you are providing that kind of advice beyond the analyst side. So this particular level has that practical aspect which is, I think, not many people are aware of. So they are outside of this particular field of technical analysis. They are seeing charts and everything, but they don't see this aspect of technical analysis, which is actually very practical and very much system oriented. So this has particularly turned me into as well a system trader, where you are trading based on totally logic and mathematics, rather than being you know um, using trend lines or moving averages, those kind of things. Okay, so this is our pedagogy at market fairs. Usually we have trained candidates who are in level 1, level 2, level 3, and for the past 2.5 years, 2 years, we have been teaching CMT candidates. So what we in interactive mode do is, these are like 4 or 5 hours live classes on weekends, and then these are usually taken sometimes during live market, where we explain everything related to particular indicator and everything. So you'll have access to recorded videos, then presentation slides are handy to you. And then one thing is for sure, that access until you pass. So basically during COVID, a lot of students postponed their exam, and that is one of the thing which was actually coming in between students and their goal to clear levels. So one has to postpone exam due to maybe health conditions or mental conditions or time boundaries. So and you will have the access to our program till you pass. There is an online discussion forum, there is a WhatsApp, and the best part is you will have this particular program and every content on your mobile app. So the best part is you can go through your mobile, be it Android or iOS, and you can access the content. Test bank and mock exams are there. So usually in level 1, level 2, or level 3, we do provide test banks, almost 3 test banks and 2 mock exams. So that will give you a real feel how do you perform when you are actually sitting. Back in my time, I had to literally sit for like 7-8 hours, especially for L3. But I was looking at different chapters and then going different mock papers one by one. So mock exam is something which we have designed, and it will give you a feel what it's like to give exam in real time environment, like you have like you would give in at Prometric testing center. So another is offline mode. Usually, a lot of people who are into full-time jobs or who are working somewhere, and we do get these kind of students a lot when exam is like 2 months or 1 month away, and they come and they want to clear exam in one go. But still, I would recommend to go for an interactive mode or give time to yourself to clear the exam. But in this, you will get access to all the recorded videos. That is, I guess, more than 50 hours of content, right? And so each chapter you will have 30-45 minutes of explanatory videos. And then, of course, all the same things you will have access till you pass the exam. So be it 1 year or 2 year. And then, of course, on your mobile, be it Android and or iOS. And then, of course, test bank and mock exams are something which is we give to these students. Then the last, test bank or mock exam, but uh, this is usually something which uh, happens, or students get um, to ask a lot of questions in the end to friends or colleagues, that do you have test bank or mock exam. So this is something in the last moment kind of a thing. So yes, we do provide test bank and mock exams, but I would not recommend anyone who's trying to pursue CMT level, any level, that just go for test bank or mock exams. Rather, it is better for you to, if you are a working professional, then it is good for you to have interactive mode, because that is on weekends, only on Saturdays and Sundays. and or you have offline mode where you have all the content and everything, but just it is recorded videos. So now coming on to the learning objective statements and what is that in CMT. When you appear for CMT, either any of the levels, there are learning objective statements given. These learning objective statements are very, very important. They will act as a guide for each chapter when you pursue the exam, when you read out through the book. They highlight the most important concept discussed in the chapter. You'll have to make notes of the LOS to gauge your progress and its most important concept. What is the concept that was there in the chapter that you should have understood? And LOS should be utilized effectively and efficiently rather than random reading. So a lot of people, a lot of analysts, a lot of traders, it's as simple as that. We are exposed to different things. One day you are using RSI, the other day you are using trend line, then you are trying to plot moving average, and you confuse yourself with various indicators. So it is as simple as that, that these LOS provide a structured approach, right? And that is what CMT level 1, level 2, and level 3, this charter gives you. That it gives you a structure. Like for example, Joel said that what kind of a job I get all these questions. One of the person who was an volatility trader in one of the proprietary desk in Mumbai asked me what how technical analysis can help. I basically do non-directional trading. So even having a non-directional view on market is itself a view, right? Even if you don't have a view, say you are saying I'm a non-directional volatility trader, but then that is also a view which you are having on the market, right? So this is something which CMT or charter will help you to go throughout. One day you are looking at trend lines, other day you are trying to put random support or resistance. So this particular program gives you that kind of a structure, gives you that kind of a thought process. People usually, or what we see about technical analysis is trend lines or channels or patterns. When you go through this entire course, or when you read and learn, there is much, much more to this program than what is out there about technical analysis. So learning objective statements are like that. They are as a roadmap for you, and you should be able to use them efficiently and effectively. So this is a general overview. I won't take your much time, but this is level 1, and it has around 132 questions, and 12 will be unscored. You'll have 2 hours. Usually, if you are a practicing person, or even if you are a fresher, level 1, usually people take it in a lighter way, but I still believe level 1 is quite vast, and it covers most of the aspect of technical analysis. It introduces to concepts and various definitions, and of course there are 7 sections, and along with that you have ethics, and ethics carries 3% of the weightage. It's a multiple MCQ graded by machine, and this is sorry, result of the same usually is shared between 6 to 8 weeks. So it is like up to 2 months. Before 2 months you will be getting your result, and then of course you'll have a choice to move to next level. And passing score is something which is not disclosed by the association, and this is not the official number. This is on my personal experience or Dhwani's. One should be able to target 75% around that, because it is actually one level where everyone gets carried away under the impression that they know what is technical analysis. The thing is otherwise, and so passing rate has got a stringent over a period to 60%, but you should target 75%. So these are the LOS. You can download them through CMT Association website as well. There is It is available there, LOS. They are updated every 6 months if there is any change, and you can find them by putting in your details such as name, number, and everything. So these are LOS. It covers most of the things, like from example, basic Dow theory, basic principles. What is chart? What are the types of chart? What is bar chart? What is breakout, stops, and retracements? Moving averages, all these things which we uh, uh, think we know and which we do practice in our technical analysis, but these are given in a lot of detail. You get reference to content as old as 1930s, 1940s, actually, when it was about Dow theory. So this is level one, and in this level one, you'll be exposed to as well other things such as Elliott waves, P&F, noiseless charts, what are various market instruments, what are various markets, what are various indexes which are which the one tracks. So it's not just SGX Nifty. There are a lot of other global equity indices which one can track and try to understand. Then fixed income bonds, this will help you in intermarket analysis as you move to other levels. And then of course, various types of products such as, for now, I mean, volatility is also developing as an asset class, but then there are ETPs, currencies, uh, derivatives, and then of course behavioral finance. What is efficient market hypothesis, which is discussed throughout all the three levels. And then you get to know behavioral finance, what are various approaches, academic approaches to technical analysis. And then market sentiment, how you can gauge market sentiment. Usually we read market sentiment is positive, market sentiment is negative, but there are a lot of ways where you can uh, comprehend and take the data and comprehend in terms of So this is level one, I think, and now comes section 6. So you will be introduced to some aspect of statistics. You will be introduced to descriptive statistics, probability. If you are into the market, if you are into trading, if you are into systematic trading, or even discretionary trading, you should know what is probability and how it is going to play a vital role in your trading career or analysis or your investment career throughout, I mean, for years. Perspectives on technical trading, objective rules and their evaluation. So yeah, this is something which gives you an idea about various aspects of rules that is there. Like Joel said, there are a lot of input factors and then there is output, right? So what is input and what are output? What is the output? It can be three output or two output, right? So that is what we will be exposed to in this. Then being right or making money, usually people have that thing that they want to be right, but is it important to be right or to make money? For me, it is to make money, honestly, or for any trader, it is important to make money rather than being right. Model building process and relative strength, one of the most successful strategies, such as relative strength, is discussed in this particular section. So this is basically an example which we have in our PPT. So this is kind of an infographic and beautifully designed by our team. And what this gives you in one slide, it gives you a lot of information of past almost 100 years, a decade, I mean, a century, right? So how in 1902 everything began, and in 1998 the Journal of Finance article by Brown Kurtzman about everything. So this is like a timeline, a kind of a one pager that gives you all the idea about how technical analysis actually the inception was there and how it moved, how Robert Rea further refined the technical analysis, how in 1998 there was an article by Brown, Kurtzman, and Kumar, which demonstrated adjusted for its various other things. So this is one of the example from the PPT that we will be providing. Yes, there would be some live market participation as well, where we will be discussing a lot about various kind of uh, price action. So usually people have an idea about cap, but I think there can be a lot of ways one can define cap, not just simple caps what we can see on chart. So this is another presentation slides from the PPT where we are talking about retracement. So how retracements are shown in real market, that is there, and this is one of the aspect of the PPTs that will be provided by MarketFeds. This is something which is done on real time, and it's actually a practical basis when you are talking about P and F chart. So we try to construct it, then we sit together, then we try to find the target as well through both ways in the P&F, how to find target and how to find your entry point, what would be the box setting, what are various um, uh, types where we can use different types of box can be used with ATR or so. So this is something which is there in the PPT, and then we come to level two. I will just share that this is a 4-hour exam, so it's almost double of level one. What you have seen in level one is 2 hours. This is almost 4 hours. So it will cover a lot of theory, but as well as some analysis of this, how you would implement that theoretical part. So this is actually trying to gauge, since you have studied about theory, how would you implement, how would you analyze that. So that is in level two. It has 170 questions, and of course, passing score is undisclosed for this. Usually, the result are out in 8 weeks. Around level one, the L2 scores are also there. Um, Ethics, same 3% weightage, and the rest is everything you want to know about technical analysis. This is also MCQ. These are learning objective statements. So see how you are now taken from a theoretical aspect to some practical aspect, some analysis where you will be uh, reading about trend calculations, trend systems, what are other charting methods, and then various indicators, whatever there is, A to Z. You won't need to refer to any random book if you have the official course. So this is something which we will be putting in the PPT. Short-term pattern, of course, all the theoretical part again, but then you will have some, sorry, practical scenarios where you will be exposed to, say, for example, behavioral finance. Then you will be learning about various biases, various and various inertial effects that are there. Sentiment again, and sentiment and derivatives. So how do you read sentiments in derivatives market through open interest and other data that is available. Then of course again we will see some statistics, some mathematics coming in, correlation, regression analysis. These are not these things usually we don't see in the public domain, people talking about this, but these are actually core concepts which is there in level 2 and in level 3 in quite number of chapters. So this is something which people should be aware of when they're practicing technical analysis, then they're putting logic to it. So how do you select various which market to trade, which issues to trade, what would be your instrument that you will be choosing. Intermarket analysis, relative strength, again, stock market model. One of the most important thing is how Ned Davis created a Fab5 model. How you can create as well is something which we can learn from this. Active and passive money management. And then last but not the least, this is the beginning where you will be exposed to the practical aspect. And in level 3, we will be reading this in detail. Designing and testing technical trading systems. So one of the most important part of technical analysis is taking whatever we have learned. So what we do in our classes is we show live systems. You'll be seeing live systems, how whatever we have learned. Say for example, anyone who's reading RSI, seeing overbought or oversold, how we implement RSI in real time. Are those 1730 useful? How our data analysis suggests some other studies of RSI. So that kind of thing. So statistics of back testing, scientific method, theories of non-random price, case study of rule data mining for S&P 500. One of the practical chapters which is shown as a case study, and you can learn a lot of it. System design and testing. What is robustness? How do you find a robust system, or is your system robust? So there are various methods to it. What is optimization? How do you optimize? And are you curve fitting your analysis on the data? So all these things are there, and that is discussed in level 2. And then level 3 is everything you would need to take anything live, or be in that position where you are a lot a lot of confidence, where you can say things with rule, with logic, with data, with proper understanding and proper analysis. So this is one of the slides, I think, from the PPT, which will be shared, like what are various patterns. So piercing, dark cloud, engulfing, counterattack. People usually understand candlestick patterns, but there is also more to it, to a simple candlestick pattern. Usually we are seeing candlestick pattern every now and then, but I think that is just 20%. Identifying the pattern is not important. Identifying other characteristic of pattern, where it is forming and how it can be played, is important. So that covers almost 80%, and 20% is just which it's a bullish engulfing, it's a bearish engulfing, it's a doji. People usually cover see doji as something, a reversal pattern, but where it is forming is another uh, different thing to discuss and ponder upon. So this is another thing, like fixed cycle tools. What are various aspects of phasing, centered moving average? What is a valid trend line? Uh, Visual representation, then you get correlation. So this is how it is displayed. A correlation is assumed to be linear, following a line: positive, negative, low, and perfect negative. So there are almost like different kind of correlation, different types of correlation, which we can see in the. So this is like a visual graphic representation. Once you this particular slide on your mobile, or say in a PPT, you would be able to understand what is a perfect positive, or what is the difference between high positive correlation and low positive correlation, through graphical representation only. So this is a kind of a infographic which you will have in the PPT. Level 3 is all about integration of technical analysis. It's a 4-hour exam length, and it's actually essay type question, where you will be given question and you'll have to write about it. So you'll need some good practice on the keyboard. But this is one of the toughest level. L3 is, I believe, one of the toughest level when it comes to um, passing, because it actually tests your everything, your sweat, your hard work, your knowledge, your understanding, your knowledge about technical analysis. Not just that, but how do you implement that? Are you well versed with concepts that you are going to take a system forward? Suppose there is a strategy which we see on social media or some other place, like moving average crossover, or MACD, or RSI, or some price action, but are you ready to deploy some amount of sizable fund on it? How would you test it? How would you put that system under rigorous test and then take it forward? So this is what we study in L3. For me, it was something where I myself now got three systems or two systems running, and how would I test those systems and take it forward is something which you will see in L3. So this is actually rather fun if you are focused and disciplined, and you know that your ultimate goal is to not being right and make money. So this is something which not just it helps in your traders, but it also helps analysts, or people who are in other fund manager or portfolio manager role, because it is purely practical. And as you move along, you'll have to test test everything that you read and try to implement. And this is LOS of L3, risk management, asset relationship, again, behavioral finance, portfolio management. So I hope you see the content and the uh, things there are to learn when it comes to technical analysis. And CMT is one charter or coveted certification which uh, it's a must if you are talking about technical analysis. So VIX and volatility in classical methods, and I think that is it. So one thing I also want to clarify, what Joel said was true, that people usually get confused learning Python or learning some language or learning some software. So for me, to be honest, the people ask what is technical analysis. I would say it's a tool. How well you can use it, it's totally up to you. And when there are questions like companies do require you to know programming, so these are actually the ways or kind of a ways to reach to a particular destination. But to have that understanding of technical analysis is itself one of the most important aspects. So over the last 3 or 4 years, I have myself learned a lot of languages, be it C++ or PineScript, and now Python. But I would consider these languages or these things as skills or tools which one must know or understand, or at least if not, these are a way through I can implement something which is uh, in terms of in terms of logic. But that logic is technical analysis, right? Knowing the language or knowing other tool, knowing other skill set is a different thing. But having technical analysis as something very important, then you create value out of it, right? But if you don't have that particular core or technical analysis at your core, you are not able to create value, right? Then it's just some language, but what to implement is something totally different. So I think I have taken a lot of time, right? But I'll still hand over to Dhwani, and she would, I think, take up from it, and I think end the webinar or take some questions. Dhwani, are you there?
Yes, I'm absolutely here. And that was again a very informative session from you where we got to know
Thank you.
about all the three levels, what to expect in which level. We have a couple of questions, sir. The first question is from Kartikeya Gupta. He is saying, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for conducting a workshop with us. I will be writing my CMT level 2 this December. I have a doubt. How much time should we devote every day to pass level 2? Since I have heard that this is the hardest of the three levels.
Bunny, even you have cleared L2. You have just postponed your L3 to December. So I think you would be also able to answer it, because Dhoni has just cleared it last year in December. So I think she should have a rather recency bias, as in the recent information. So
Yes,
she can have,
absolutely.
she would be in
So,
better position to answer. Dhoni, please.
yes. So, Kartikeya, if you're talking about preparing for level 2, if you have to start about from, let's say now, August itself, daily 2 hours of your time should be more than enough to finish up your portion within the next 3 months, leaving you last 1 month even for your revision and mock test papers you're supposed to give. And last 15 days is what we suggest, where you completely revise and devote more than 6 to 7 hours of your time. But before that, in the first 3 months, 2 hours of your dedicated time. What by 2 hours I mean having a proper concentration just on the study, no WhatsApping and stuff, and then you should be able to clear your level 2 with very ease in the December itself.
There is one more question from Vaishnav. I'll take it. I've cleared my level 2 at present. I'm looking for a job. Can you please guide me how to get into analyst job or an internship where I can get an environment where I can share or gain more knowledge. So yes, this is one thing, which everyone aspires to be, and the job opportunities as well. So being at level 2, I think you still have a lot of opportunity. What you need is to build a kind of a profile where you are able to display your knowledge. I think one of the ways you can move ahead is through other platforms such as LinkedIn or social media. I'm right, Dhani, right? And
Absolutely.
you can get in touch with a lot of people over there. And I think people are kind enough. For me, they have been kind, if I ask. So my advice would be to reach out to people, right? The most important thing in a professional career is to ask, to be very honest. And once you build that
Absolutely.
kind of profile and then reach out to people, I think there are, myself personally seen, there are broking houses, there are fund houses or institutions who are employing CMT. I know those kind of places where they ask for CMT at least level 1 clear, or anyone who is CMT L2 candidate, so that they have a little knowledge about what technical analysis is. So I think you need to find the right um, uh, people on LinkedIn, and I think you need to find a right search where you are, because I myself see a lot of openings. But if any opening comes across me, I think I have you on LinkedIn. I'll share with you.
Actually, Vaishnav already has had a word with me about the same on Discord as well.
Hmm.
Uh, he was looking for one of the opportunities with us. So, Vaishnav, I do have you on mind always. I'll definitely be getting, back to you on the same. Uh, once we have that suitable opportunity for you, right? And next question again, Vaishnav has is. If he starts level 3 preparation with us, can he get access to the last 3 sections of level 2? Uh, Definitely, Vaishnav, we'll
That is
have a
that
word
is
on.
that is not a problem, Vaishnav. To be
We'll definitely
honest,
have a word on this thing.
yes.
Should not be much of a problem.
Uh,
So we can work it
See,
out.
Vaishnav or anyone else, see, it's more of how you reach out to people and how you can help them. So, for example, for me, I am still in touch with people who have cleared L3 or L2 and who have taken a break for L3. So, it's not just about like CMT. We are in touch, we are in constant touch. We talk about market, we share knowledge. They need input on something, say something as simple as PineScript or AmiBroker or data. We help each other out. I do guide them in that kind of a place. There are questions where one should would move to which software, right? So trading is something free which I recommend. Then there is PineScript, so I do help them in that kind of a programming and how to implement. I just say it's all about connection. It's not purely professional. So we know at this stage one needs a lot of guidance because the learning curve is quite steep and it takes a lot of years. So for me, it has taken a lot of years. So I believe in your age, if you're guided through right direction, you know, you will be able to have success a lot sooner.
Okay, Vignesh is asking, would you be sharing the slides? Yes,
This,
Vignesh, the same PPT would be shared across in the mailer to you, and even we are having it as a recorded session, so you would get the recording of the same as well, and we'll put it across on YouTube also, so you guys can share it across to your friends as well, right? And any other questions? I am just putting down across our mail ID into the chat box, and I have put across our mail ID, which is admin@marketfeds.com, and my contact number. So in case of any, queries, you can get in touch with us. Vignesh, the fees are different for live classes and offline classes. You can find all of these details on our website, which is marketfeds.com, where we have mentioned all the details about what mode has what facilities and everything. And we have our app also, which is MarketFeds eLearn. You could also find it on Android and iOS, so you can get details from there as well. Vaishnav is asking again, sir, I am planning to give my L3 next year. Can I prepare with you guys now? More than welcome, Vaishnav. Longer you prepare, it's going to give you a better shot. So more than welcome. You can start the journey right away and be there till the time you are there in level 3. We are always there to help you out in the entire journey. So yes, you can definitely start your preparation now itself. Okay, guys, I would just end this session here. And for any further details, you have my mail ID and my contact number. And you would also get a message from our WhatsApp on the official from the official number. So you can even put your queries across on that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us, and thank you guys for being there. So you're on mute. You are still on mute.
Okay, thank you everyone, and have a great night. And I wish you all the best. Right? I hope you can progress with all the levels. Whoever is pursuing CMT, and if you're not, if you are practicing technical analysis, this is something you should give your time to. Thank you everyone. Good night.